Alright, welcome back to Trapped in a Dating Sim Anime Review, episode number 3. Yeah, I know it's been a few days since I last did because, well, I kept getting distracted by the One Piece Wano arc because there was like so much of it left by the time I was able to start this one. But that's done. Wano is done. Unless they adapted it for the anime, I'm done talking about Wano for now. I might occasionally reference it, but yeah. So, in these two episodes, mostly put, here's what happens. So we have it where Leon basically is hosting this tea party during a school festival, where it seems like a normal cafe, and apparently the one next door, the one hosted by Prince Julius, is like a hostess club. Apparently it was Marie's idea for her to do that. And then, of course, for advertising, by the way, to help out, we have Olivia and Angelica be the maids, and the two guy friends basically be, the butlers. Well, more like basically the waiters of the place, and of course he runs it. They've had very slow, and then basically, I think it was Olivia, I think it was. Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I think it was Olivia, where she was just advertising the cafe. And then all of a sudden, Angela basically gets called to the executive committee because the Queen is there. Yes, the Queen. She meets up with the Queen, and of course, they're very friendly. Now, from what I can tell, she does not resent, basically, the engagement called up between Julius and Angelica. Yeah, she apparently had no problem with it. They're on good terms, despite the fact that she doesn't like some stuff her son does, but basically she has no problem with her son's ex-fiancé. Yep. And of course she's showing around the festival. And then of course basically, about charting stuff, basically I thought it was garbage. Basically that was lukewarm for this tea. And then we have this count's daughter being there. And she refers to the Queen as an old hag. She does not know this is the Queen. She has no idea. Well, then, of course, Leon basically doesn't like her attitude, so he proceeds to beat the crap out of her servants. Yeah! And the Queen's like, okay. It's like, how dare you insult this woman? This is the Queen of the country! And she's like, what? She's the Queen? Damn! And, of course, she apologizes. She left. And of course they have a polite conversation, and then of course she goes visit her, and then he kind of jokingly proposes to her, and then her son pops up, Prince Julius, this is Ringo Pajaro, and of course he takes her to his basically like, it's like a hostess club. It's like, where's his girl Marie? And of course basically she's not ready yet, and this I thought was kind of hilarious. And I'm thinking like, Leon just jokingly proposed to the man he hates, to his hot mom. Yes, to a woman that people identify as a MILF, a hot mom. Yes, that's basically what this woman is. It is hilarious. And that's all much to say about episode 6. So, the very next episode is a speeder, basically the video was a bike race. But technically what they're renting is speeder bikes. Yes, which look a lot like the ones featured in Return of the Jedi, except more sci-fi-ish than the ones appear there. But, yeah, and of course, like, we have it where Ian St. Clair's character, although he's basically the favorite by some people, but because this countess it's actually his ex-fiance's thugs try to hinder him. So, Leon is basically has no choice but to take basically his place, which he does. And apparently he gets along fine with basically the guy, I think his name is, I'm trying to think, what was his name? The guy who works for him. He works for the girl. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Excuse me. Also, the Countess' daughter, basically, let's see if we can find her here. Oh, yeah, Alexander plays Leroy here. Let's see if we can find him here. Oh, the Queen is basically, her name is Marilyn. And she's voiced by Kelly Greenshield. I'm trying to find the name of the character here. Let's see. Oh, her name is Stephanie. Yeah, she's not a very nice person. Nope. Okay, joke. Okay, so the guy's name's Dan. So he's got with like red streak in his hair. It's like, yeah, we have something in common. We both hate hot guys. And of course, basically, he does a good one later on. Of course, they have the race. Of course, they tried. Of course, these other thugs basically tried to interfere. Probably other guys are hated because they dare beat basically the prince and his entourage. That's why everybody hates him except for Angela Olivia. Also, Stephanie refers to Olivia as Angela's pet, despite the fact these two are friends. It's almost like the way basically these two are so close to each other. It's almost like these two are about to make out, given the fact how much they hold each other very much. Yeah, it's like, I think anybody watches can tell, are these two ladies gonna make out? In case you're curious, no, they don't. They're just really good friends who like holding each other and also groping each other in the bath. Yes, seriously. So, also there's this one other person, Clara, basically asked to help out with something. So, yeah, and of course in the case of Chuck, basically where, okay, the fiance's name is Clary. She's the one basically who Chuck basically broke up his engagement to be Marie. So, and of course, basically, he'll do it for him in case for a favor. Okay. The favor is something here later on. So, thanks to Lexon's modification of his bike, he actually wins the race. And then his bike explodes, and then he's caught by Dan. They both agree, yeah, we both hate hot guys. And then Jock basically what does that pay? Take him straight to Clarice and have them apologize to her for calling out their engagement. Which probably is the most sensible thing to do because all he did was send her a letter. And I agree with Dan. He should have basically told her face to face. And then, of course, basically, yeah, she's done with him, but she basically, well, he basically got what he deserved. Of course, she does ask him, what do you see in this girl, Marie, that caused you to basically end the engagement? All he says, all I know is I love her. Yeah. Because he's an idiot. That's basically what he is. This entourage is written. Now, there's nothing against Ian St. Clair. I love his performance basically as the character, but there's no denying the guy is written to be a complete moron. Him, Julius, Chris, and Greg, all five of these guys are written to be complete morons. And it is, by the way, in case you're curious though, is it Crunchyroll basically writing these characters this way? No. Is it the original studio who makes the show? No. It's the writer of the original light novels. It's his fault. He is the reason why these characters are written to be complete morons. And by the way, the writer's name is Yoma Mishima. By the way, the light novel series has actually concluded after only 13 volumes. I've read the first 3 right now. I've read also pretty much all the volumes released in manga. And they have confirmed a season 2 for this series. Oh yeah, they have. Yeah. So of course, basically, and then he talks to Olivia about the whole pet thing. By the way, Stephanie tries to antagonize basically Angela more, so Angela proceeds to slap her and get into a fight with her. Yes, seriously. Yeah, and then the episode ends with Carl asking Olivia for a conversation. Yeah, it's overall 2 really interesting episodes, and basically, well... Oh yeah, by the way, Carla basically is asked, Leon, they say, our family from ruin. Okay. By the way, in case you're curious to who voices, let's see if we can find it here. Ah, that's better. So I'd be curious, who actually voices Carla? Or Stephanie? Carla is voiced by Kelsey Misher. Stephanie, this evil woman, she is voiced by Kylie Zimmer. And some of you probably going to be asking, Nick, who the heck are these people? I have honestly no idea. I'm not kidding about that. I have honestly no idea of who these people even are. Oh, by the way, Stephanie is the former fiance of Brad. The one voiced by Justin Brenner. Yep. And I can kind of see why, basically, that he left her. Because she's a terrible person. Because the way she's written, it's like the Entourage. I mean, they're going to be complete morons. This woman is described to be, well, if this was, well, I'm not going to say the B word, but I'm going to call her a dick. Because that's what she is. She's a dick. What are you thinking? Wait, I'm calling a female character that? That's kind of how the character is, like, basically how she acts. She's, like, stuck up in her basically nobility stuff. That... And it's kind of good the fact Angela basically beats the crap out of her. Now, one thing at least gotta appreciate about Leon, despite the fact his personality, throughout this whole show in 7 episodes, he's never once hit a woman. Nope, never has. He's never slapped a woman, never punched her or kicked her. He may have insulted them, or basically into arguments with them, but he never actually physically hurt them. Never. I mean, at that point, he's a complete gentleman. That's the reason why he beat the crap out of Stephanie's servants, because basically, this is how irritating she can be. Basically, he just basically took her frustration on his servants. Yeah. But all in all, good episodes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notifications. Next up is a comic history video. Okay, next video. Bye.